Estrada.
Sir, the Japanese Minister on Internal Affairs said that she expressed regret over the Comfort Woman statue erected in Rojas Boulevard. May we know how the President reacted to this?
I think we issued the press statement, and we stand by the press statement.
So, sir, you're denying that the Minister ever said
I'm not denying.
those
I'm saying
words?
there's a press statement prepared by Malacanang, and that's the press statement.
Sir, do you believe in that statement?
Which one?
Can you respond on the premise that she gave those remarks? Because my next question would then be how the remarks would impact on the relationship between Japan and the Philippines.
Well, as I said, there's a press statement issued. Not everything that goes on closed doors bilateral talks can be reported upon or commented upon.
But sir, Japanese media already reported on it because she herself admitted it during a press briefing or interview.
Let Japanese media report on it.
Sir, but is
Next question, please.
Will the Philippine government be doing anything about the statue at least, given how it has caused such controversy?
The statute is not erected by Malacanang. What are we supposed to do? No?
But sir, it has the seal of the NHCP, which is a government agency.
Then that should be addressed to the NHCP. It's
So, sir,
not something that the President will act on himself.
Okay.
So sir, hands off ang Malacanang in this issue.
We didn't erect the statute, so it's not a presidential project, so to speak.
So the government doesn't see this as a diplomatic issue.
I don't think it is really a diplomatic issue, no, because our ties with Japan remain very strong. We have every reason to be optimistic that bilateral relations with Japan will become even stronger.
Celerina Monte.
Good afternoon, sir. Ako yung nag-text sa inyo yesterday regarding that. During the forum this morning, Gabriela said they're challenging you, specifically you, since you're a former counsel for another Lolas, the Malaya Lolas, when you were still with the private sector. They're asking you, they're challenging you na, I want to quote them, naghihintay ang comfort women and advocates na gumawa siya, meaning you, na positibong remarks na mananatilang statue sa Rojas Boulevard. So, can we get your reaction on that?
I'm presidential spokesperson now. My past involvements have become irrelevant. The President did not erect that statue. It's up to the people who erected that statue to do anything they want with it.
Sir, there's this letter daw from the DFA asking the mayor or the local government of Manila to remove that statue since the DFA is a national government, part of the national government. Is that the policy?
I do not know about that letter, and if there is such a letter, to confirm it, please ask Mayor Estrada.
Okay, thank you. Last questions? Philip Tubesa, to be followed by Lanesca. Last three.
Sir, good afternoon. Reaction lang. The camp of Governor Joel Reyes is asking the Court of Appeals to cite you in contempt of court for allegedly lawyering for the camp of Jerry Ortega.
Well, I welcome that, so I can probably explain to the convicted felon. He is a convicted felon, remember? What the role of the executive is, the chief executive. The chief executive is the chief implementer of the law. Every crime is prosecuted by the executive in the name of the people of the Philippines. Of course, it is the duty of the and obligation of the state to accord its citizens justice. I spoke in that capacity. I have no regrets, and even the President approved of my statements.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Lanesca?
Sir, sorry, I will go back with Japan, with the statue. Because the President said even before he won as President, he said that he will raise this issue with the Japanese if he wins. And he repeated that same statement 2 months after his election in August 2016. He said that he is willing to raise that issue when he goes to Japan as President. So, can we expect him to at least initiate compensation or any compensation or any deal with our comfort women, considering that there's an existing deal between the Japanese government and the South Korean comfort women?
I can only say again that diplomatic negotiations constitute an established exception to freedom of information because of the delicate nature of maintaining bilateral ties. I cannot confirm if the President will bring up the issue of the comfort women. What I can confirm wholeheartedly is that he values the very close bilateral relations that we have with Japan currently.
Okay, thank you. Last three, RJ, Philip, and then Joseph.
Sir, reaction po to Makabayan Bloc saying the President committed grave abuse of discretion for signing Train into law, which, according to them, was not properly ratified. Train.
Well, I don't think they are a court. Only the court can conclude that there was grave abuse of discretion. And of course, I have said it before that there's overwhelming presumption of regularity because of the enrolled bill doctrine that the train was signed by the Senate President and the Senate and the Speaker of the House before it was signed by the President into law. That's entitled to full respect from our courts.
They said, sir, it was not properly ratified due to the lack of quorum.
Well, I understand that they brought the suit already alleging this ground. Let the court decide.
Sir, on Velosa, is there any hope for her request from the President during, to help her so that she could testify against her recruiters?
I don't understand what exactly the President can do in this regard. She's detained in foreign soil because of breach of Indonesian penal laws. She continues to be alive despite being meted the death penalty. But there is such a thing as sovereignty, and the matter is completely in the hands of the Indonesian government. Although I think the Indonesian government, by not carrying out the punishment of death penalty, has shown clemency on a daily basis.
All right, sir. Sir, can I ask one more?
Yes, please.
Yesterday, former Senator Bongbong Marcos said he will not stop pursuing his electoral protest even if the President would endorse him as a candidate for the next. Is there a possibility for the President to possibly to endorse him for the next senatorial election?
I'm not aware, and as you yourself said, a decision has been made by Mr. Marcos that he will not give up his election protest.
Okay.
Okay, Philip?
Hi, sir. Confirm na po ba yung trip ni Presidente sa India at the end of the month?
I do not, well, it looks like, but you know, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks like it's going to push through because it's a gathering of heads of states of ASEAN, no, in a summit with India, no. So I don't see why it will not push through, except if for some reason he decides not to push through with it.
Ano po maging agenda ng Presidente?
It's an ASEAN summit, so the agenda is set by the Secretariat of ASEAN.
There have been criticisms before about yung size ng delegations niya pag nagtitravel siya abroad. Will he have a leaner delegation this time around?
Number one, I'm not sure about the criticism. Number two, I'm not sure if it's really not lean enough, no? Because I've been on some of the trips. It's rather lean if you compare it, say, with the presidential trips of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, no? I went to some of these trips as a congressman, and there were only one or two members of Congress accompanying him. And I heard anecdotally that in past administrations, there were more members of Congress that were allowed to go on these state visits. That's what I heard.
Will there be fewer trips this year?
Well, as I said, the President is not keen on making foreign trips. No? He's not even keen on flying to Manila. No? That's the truth. No? So I don't think it will be a problem. I think he will lead by way of example to others to minimize foreign trips.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Joseph Morong.
Sir, yung sa teachers' pay, what's really the status? Teachers' pay.
Yes.
Sweldo ng mga teachers. Ano ba talaga, sir? Meron, wala?
Well,
Naaasahan?
it's very clear. Even the transcript of what I said here is clear because I was based on the transcript of the cabinet meeting. He asked his cabinet members to find ways to increase the salary of teachers. I did say I did not know by how much. I speculated. It is true that my speculation could be wrong, but I did not unequivocally